All right. Welcome everyone to our Lunch and Learn webinar with RiverWoods Manchester. My name is Jen Torgersen, and I am here today with Elaine and Carl Schmottlach, who are residents here at RiverWoods Manchester, and they are going to be talking a little bit and answering questions toward the end of the presentation today. So welcome to all of you that have logged in and signed on to join us. Any questions that you may have throughout the presentation, please type them into the Q&A box down at the bottom of your screen, and we will address those toward the end of the presentation. You will see several residents like Yvonne from RiverWoods Manchester throughout the presentation here. So just a little bit first about our location. This map is kind of upside down. The north is on the bottom, south is on the top. So we are located sort of northwest of the city of Manchester. You can see the distance. We are here where the yellow arrow is, and it's a nice, small, friendly neighborhood, about 10-15-minute drive from downtown Manchester and about 20 minutes from Concord. You see the big hillside across the street from where our community is located. That's a huge nature preserve. And it's just a lovely rural feel, but very close to town. And this is a map of our campus. You come up Countryside Drive, you can see here on the left, and then you can see Alliance Way is a U-shaped road that goes around the entire building. Independent living, assisted living, memory support, nursing care is all located within this building under the same roof. And you'll see on the top right corner there, there's a sign for cottages. So we could go up the road there, and there's 4 duplexes with potential for other cottages in the future. You're looking at the main entrance of independent living here. The exterior of the building will be getting a total renovation starting very shortly, but this entrance will primarily stay the same, and this would be reception, the marketing office, the dining area, beautiful dining terrace off to the right, and outdoor patio with a fire pit. That's really the main entrance for independent living. So RiverWoods Manchester is a RiverWoods group community. RiverWoods started with RiverWoods Exeter back in the early 90s. It's 2 ladies who created this grassroots organization from the bottom up. And over time, Exeter expanded to a total of 3 communities, as well as RiverWoods Durham, which was added in 2019. RiverWoods Manchester was created as Birch Hill and Hillcrest Terrace, had a few transitions over time, but affiliated with the RiverWoods Group in 2016, and today is called RiverWoods Manchester. SPE stands for someplace else, as the RiverWoods Group slowly, cautiously expands to provide services for older adults in the future. So RiverWoods Manchester has almost 150-year history in the Manchester area. We are a not-for-profit charitable continuing care retirement community, the only CCRC in Manchester. We have 134 independent living apartments, 4 cottages currently, and then there's assisted living, memory support, and nursing care. We love being part of the 3 community system. There is strength in numbers, and it's just a great group. Main entrance here, again, we are a Type B CCRC, where you don't pay for healthcare until you need it. Healthcare when you are in assisted living, memory support, or nursing care would be at below market rate. So incredible savings on healthcare costs here. We are an insurance contract. Our contract is overseen by the Department of Insurance annually. So it's a healthcare contract. It is not a purchase. And there is a tax deduction available because our contract is considered a prepaid medical expense. CCRC like this is a gift to your children. Smart financial decision, great health care available. We are the only CCRC in New England with a flexible 70% refundable entrance fee contract. So that can be used two ways. Typically, once you have left the community and someone else has paid an entrance fee on your apartment, your 70% refund would go to your estate or whomever you designate. Here, you also have a second option, and it's really your choice. At the point where one or both of you may move to assisted living or a higher level of care, the difference in the monthly fee could be drawn down from your 70% refund. So you can use that 70% refund while you're still alive to pay for the increase in monthly costs in healthcare. Just another nice option for people. So a quick overview: you move in when you're independent, healthy, active, 62 or older. We offer care coordination throughout your lifetime. We have a wellness clinic in independent living with a nurse practitioner. There's a social worker in assisted living, and a whole care team that really helps coordinate your care as your needs change in life. Everyone in independent living qualifies for up to 30 free days every year in respite. So we have 2 rooms set aside in assisted living just for independent residents in case they have a short-term medical need. We call it a respite stay. And that is just great. It's 30 days per year. It's just a gift to the people who live here. You also qualify for $1,000 off the market rate for assisted living, $1,500 off per month for memory support, and $2,000 off per month for nursing care for your lifetime. So starting in independent living, signing that life care contract has incredible benefits over time. RiverWoods Manchester is a neighborhood full of people passionate about what they do every day. Carl and Elaine are 2 of those people, and so they will tell us a little bit about that moving forward. But these are all residents and a lot of active, fun, engaging people, great lifestyle. Ralph and Linda. Linda has a dog here, so we're a pet-friendly community. Dogs, cats, and we've had a turtle in the past are allowed. So we have a special pet policy you would request if you're thinking of moving in here. And here's Carl and Elaine. Before they moved in, actually, they came in to take a tour of the nature preserve across the street and have loved it ever since. Just miscellaneous pictures of our residents. Len in our dining room, Dottie painting in one of our sunrooms, and Nancy over at the Currier Art Museum, which is here in Manchester. She is a docent there and gives tours of the Frank Lloyd Wright House, the Zimmerman House. There's several residents here that are involved with that program. And it's a wonderful little museum. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't been there, well worth a visit. Probably about a third of our population here are couples. This just shows a park that's right down the road from our campus. It's called Doors Pond at Livingston Park. Nice place to put a kayak in the water. And then some of our campus here are Birch Grove, some of the garden terraces that the garden club helps tremendously with, and just beautiful spots around this area to enjoy life. We have raised garden beds. You can sign up for a garden bed every year if you'd like to grow some veggies or some flowers. And again, the garden club is active with helping to manage all the beds on campus and create some new ones as well. The Nature Conservancy across the street is about 640 acres. It's called the Cedar Swamp Preserve. Right down the road, about half a mile from our main entrance, there are 2 miles of trails. And they're adding a 3rd accessible trail this year. They're working right now on the parking lot, and then they'll start work on that 3rd trails, which is just a great ability to become involved with that. It's open to the public. We have land right across the street here that our residents go off trail in, and we'll show you some pictures from that. It's absolutely stunning. These are from the nature preserve across the street. There's a pond that had 16 or 17 heron nests returning every year right down the hill from our campus here. There's mountain laurel, unusual trees, unusual plants. a lot of wildlife, and one of our residents has a camera on in there, so he can share photos with the community here. Deer, coyotes, bears. We had a bear fighting up here on the hill just yesterday, apparently. Some of the beavers, the herons, lots of wildlife. It's absolutely beautiful, very special nature conservancy. Very easily accessible too. So independent living, this is where you would be coming in the front door. Again, this will get a partial facelift soon, starting with the roof and doing siding and columns and balconies and railings and just about everything. We have put $19.5 million into interior renovations already. As independent living apartments have opened up, we have gutted them and added these new kitchens with a more open concept. Replumbing, new cabinets, appliances, countertops, flooring, paint, washer dryer. So just a really nice upgrade in every apartment that has opened here. This is a cedar floor plan with white cabinets, white refrigerator freezer, and a brown quartz countertop. But there's a couple of different options for the kitchens here, just depends. This again is a cedar, which is a really nice 1-bedroom bath and a half. This would be a living room area in a fir or a dogwood, perhaps garland. And this has some upgraded flooring. Just a couple shots of independent living apartments here. And give you a glimpse. We added this little breakfast bar you can see with the stools, counter height chairs work really well there as well, but nice open kitchen into the living room area. Here we have the toffee colored cabinets with a white quartz countertop and stainless steel appliances. Again, a few different finishes. This is one of our poplar apartments. Same here, some wonderful living space, neutral colors mostly, so they go with everything that people bring in, and a couple different options. Galley kitchens, full-size appliances, one of our newer gray speckled granites, dishwasher, microwave, disposal, glass top cooking surface. It's all new and just beautiful. So this is our Aspen floor plan, which is a 1-bedroom kitchen and a full bath. It's our smallest apartment, but perfectly adequate space. We do have a model set up with furniture. So if you want to call us and take a tour, we can show you the model and show you how nicely furniture fits in this floor plan. And we do have Aspens available. We do have a Cedar available currently. It's 1-bedroom bath and a half, which is nice for a couple, or if you have family coming in to join you often, it's nice to have that extra half bath. The dogwood floor plan, it's now under deposit, but I do have a dogwood where someone has added a wall in the center, right where that word living dining is. So it's actually a 1-bedroom with a den. And an extra closet, very similar to the fir, just a tiny bit smaller, but it's a great size. So the dogwood 1-bedroom with a den is available. The fir, I have 1 fir available. It's 1-bedroom with a den, or the den could be a small bedroom. The Schmottlachs are in a fir, and they can tell you about theirs. It's a great size, just under 900 square feet. And this is a juniper. I have 1 juniper. It's 2 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 1 available, I should say. There's only 6 in the building. We have very few really large apartments in the building here. So when they open up, you want to jump right in because it doesn't happen frequently. Right now I have this one available. It's absolutely lovely. It's a white kitchen with beautiful countertop, stainless appliances, and it's really bright and beautiful. Good sized closets also. Common areas. This is the living room area on the 2nd floor. We actually serve a light continental breakfast every morning in this area, which is separate from our dining plan. This is a place where people read the paper, they play bridge, and there's a couple of bridge tables weekly, game night on a Saturday night, and in the distance there, the doors with the glass panes in them. That would be the new addition we just put on with a new fitness room, activities area, and art gallery area. So absolutely beautiful new addition. All of these rooms on the left are available. They all become your home. So sunrooms, patios, balconies, open to everyone, little places to go hang out and read a book. There's a beauty salon, there's a wood shop, there's a tavern run by residents, a country store, a secondhand store run by residents, all sorts of spaces and common areas to enjoy life and become active and engaged. This is the other side of the second floor living room area here, actually overlooks the dining area. That wall in the dining room is wonderful, super bright sunshine that just pours in this time of year. And a beautiful dining terrace right off of the dining room as well. Two-sided fireplace, and this is just one of the places where a lot of people tend to congregate and enjoy life. There's a knitting group in the living room area. There's crafts and things that go on here, everything and anything really. It all becomes your home when you move in. Our activities room, all new and 3 times larger than what we had when back in 2016 when we first affiliated with RiverWoods Group. So this is part of the new addition. You might find big concerts, lectures, fitness classes, art classes, craft classes, ping pong, you name it, bowling, just about everything and anything can be enjoyed in this room. We can cut the room in half, so you have 2 different activities going on at the same time. Kate, you have a question here. Hi, Kate, down in Texas. Thanks for joining us. Just going to throw that out there while I see it. There's the 2-sided fireplace right in the main living room area. That's really the only one. There's also one over in assisted living in the lobby. That is also a 2-sided fireplace, excuse me. This is our fitness area. Bernadette's our fitness coordinator. She's an exercise physiologist and she's an incredible gift to the community. We have a rowing club, there's a walking club. We had people going out snowshoeing in fresh snow the other day. Bernadette can work with you one-on-one, or she can train you on how to use the equipment, and you can go in anytime, 24/7. And she also has separate classes, either in the fitness room or bigger classes, meditation, Tai Chi, yoga, yin yoga, a tap fit class, all sorts of things going on that may go in the activities room as well. This is our library. It's a resident-run library. Elaine Schmottlach works in the library and absolutely loves it. And I will allow her to tell you more about that toward the end of the presentation. All run by residents. One of many sitting areas. It's a spread out building, I guess I would say, with many common areas like this, and just places that are just cozy and really comfortable. Very nice places to grab some sunshine and meet with your neighbors and enjoy life outside your apartment. Different sunrooms available on the A, B, and C wings on every floor. One has musical instruments, one has some art supplies, some are used for puzzles. This is our birch grove in the background, you can see. Incredible trees on this 29-acre campus. It's just such a lovely natural setting. A wood shop. Carl will tell us about the things he's made in the wood shop, including this nice laptop holder that I'm using today under my laptop. This is a mailroom where you have USPS coming right in, and you also have in-house mailboxes available. You can mail packages at the front desk here. You can buy stamps in the country store. Great resources available. Our dining area is newly renovated, absolutely beautiful. It is full service dining, and our monthly fee includes a credit plan. So you start the month with about 400 dining credits and just spend them down as you go. And you can carry over up to a month's worth of unused credits every month. So fresh veggies and salads and soups and a couple entree options every day, sandwiches, burgers, flatbreads, all sorts of wonderful options. The dining room is open for lunch and dinner Monday through Friday. And on the weekends, they have a really large brunch on Saturdays with several seatings. And Sundays, they have a large, more formal Sunday dinner, also with several seatings. And then they have takeout in between and afterwards. So all sorts of different options for dining. So what's included in the monthly fee? Biweekly housekeeping. Housekeepers come in, they clean the bathroom, clean the kitchen, vacuum, dust, mop. Annually, they do a deep cleaning with windows. Dining Points program is included. Also the free light continental breakfast, which is separate from the dining program. Activities, educational, social, physical, cultural, volunteer activities, all of those types of things. Up to 30 days free respite stay annually in the health center. Pre-scheduled transportation to outings, appointments, shopping, 24-hour staffing and emergency response. Maintenance, if your dishwasher breaks, you just call down to the front desk. It's wonderful. They will schedule a time to come up and manage that. Utilities, heat, electricity, air conditioning, trash and snow removal, winter car service, which is a phenomenal service, storage cage, all of that is included in the monthly fee. And Wi-Fi is now included as well. Other benefits, we offer enhanced living services for hire and independent living, and we staff it. You can hire that service by the hour for aid companion services. So if you're looking to remain safer longer in independent living as your health needs start to change, you can hire our enhanced living services by the hour. We staff it, and it's all managed from within. So it's a really great system to keep people safer longer. Visiting Nurses has an office right here in the building. They offer physical therapy, occupational therapy, speech therapy. All you need is a doctor's referral. Also, weekly lab draws. Both hospitals come into the building every week to provide lab services. And we offer blood pressure checks. There's free Rite Aid deliveries. Wellness clinic and independent living with a nurse practitioner that is available 5 days a week. She's got drop-in hours, and then she's available by appointment. So that's a wonderful free service. Complimentary pendant alarms. So you get an emergency push button that you would wear, as well as a pull cord in the bathroom. And one of the best things about being here is a benevolence clause in our contract. So if over time you spend down your assets that you came in with, you have the ability to apply for benevolence every year. We would review your finances and subsidize your monthly fee for the rest of your life. So you wouldn't have to leave the community at a point where you're less able to manage change. And it's just a gift to know that. So how do I qualify? Financially, we have a confidential data profile. It's actuarial software because we are an insurance contract. We enter your age, assets, income, debt, if you have long-term care insurance or not, if you have a pension or not, is a lifetime pension or insurance contract. All of that information goes into our actuarial software based on the largest size apartment you would be interested in. And we run your numbers and see what you qualify for. Medically, you have about a half-hour visit with our nurse practitioner. She looks at cognitive, balance, functional, and your overall ability to live safely for a couple of years in independent living. And then once you're approved, you can pay a 10% deposit on the apartment of your choice that holds that apartment for up to 60 days. And then you close on the apartment. It gives you time to review the contract and ask questions. Closing is actually just signing the contract and paying the balance of the entrance fees, and then your monthly fees start. Move-in timing is yours. You can move in whenever you wish, and you can start enjoying the great food and the great lifestyle we offer. So a CCRC offers the best value in senior living. What you want to do is make sure you have some kind of a plan. If it's not a CCRC, what is your plan? And does it include healthcare? Because healthcare is getting more expensive every day and more limited every day as the baby boomers come in, and staffing issues also provide a problem for people. RiverWoods Group is known as a great employer, and they attract some great staff and a lot of long-term staff here as well who love working here. So there's a lot to think about. Size apartment, the look of the apartment is less important than the overall big picture. Healthcare and the costs of care these days make a CCRC just that much more important in your planning process if you're able to do it. So welcome home to RiverWoods Manchester. This is just the front door of one of our apartments on second floor. Each floor is a different color scheme. Again, we're the only CCRC in New England with that flexible spend down option for your entrance fee. Great option for people. And if you wish to just leave it to your estate, that's okay too. Please feel free to type questions into the chat box and we will get to those. And I think now we are going to go to Carl and Elaine. So thank you, Carl and Elaine. Tell us a little bit about how long you lived here and what brought you here, if you would.
Now, we've been here for 2.5 years. And what brought us here is that we aged out of our lifestyle. We were country people, and the plowing and the shoveling and the gardening, which was very extensive, it all took a toll. I think Carl was tired of climbing up on the roof to clean the chimney every year because we heated our house with the wood that he cut. So we aged out physically from that active, hard work kind of lifestyle and wanted to take it easier and have more time for fun. So that's one reason we came. The other reason for me was that living here, we would not have to ever worry about outliving our assets. So that's a huge peace of mind right there, knowing that no matter what happens with the stock market or whatever, nobody's going to kick us out. Those are two of the reasons that we came. Carl?
Well, yes, that's exactly right, because it was nice to come to a place and like now when the snow comes, I don't have to worry about going out and starting up the tractor and plowing the driveway. I just watch the snow down. It's nice not having all those chores that I used to have. And I'm able to pursue some of my other interests like my woodworking in the wood shop.
I know you were chopping wood at home and you didn't know what you're going to do, and you finally came in here and you've been seen jogging the campus and you're making all these incredible wooden products out of recycled wood in some cases, and really enjoying the wood shop. Elaine, the library, the garden club, tell us about those.
Well, I worked as in a library for 32 years before I came, and I was thrilled to pieces to come here and see what a wonderful library we have, and that I could be a librarian again. So I spend quite a bit of time working in the library, and it's just, I can't tell you how much that means to me. Also, I was an avid gardener, excessively avid gardener before I came. Now I can garden as much or as little as I want and have a tremendous amount of fun with all kinds of different garden chores, but I just pick and choose what I feel up to doing. I'm not overwhelmed like I used to be at my home. So that keeps me busy in the summer. And I love winter because then I don't feel torn between gardening and library work. In the winter, I can do a lot of arts and crafts and a tremendous amount of reading and just being a sloth and just taking or doing whatever I feel like doing all day long. And that's great. But I'm still looking forward to spring and gardening season again.
There's a hillside where these women planted all sorts of, or someone planted all sorts of lupin seeds, right? So the whole hillside is wildflowers, the most beautiful lupins. It's gorgeous.
And we've got lots of seeds for future generations of lupin. Yep.
The things that I liked about coming here was in our former residence, we had lots of acreage, and I spent a lot of time out in the woods. As you know, I was cutting firewood and building tractor roads, and I like being out in the woods, and we have the nature preserve right across the street. You just walk down one of our entrance roads and across the street, and you're in the preserve. So there's lots of places to go there. There's a swamp that has a beaver dam, and one of the residents here has a trail camera set up, and he posts what he's seen out there. He goes out every single day, no matter what the weather. And he tells what's going on out there. And sometimes it's about a bobcat, or there's a bear crossing the beaver dam, or there's otter playing in the water, or there's ducks, or there's all kinds of wildlife out there. It's amazing how much nature is here, 10 minutes away from downtown Manchester. It's fabulous. And I was a runner, and there's lots of places there's like an inner loop here and then an outer loop that you can run or walk. And as Jen mentioned, the building setup has lots of hallways. So you can actually do lots of indoor walking. So in the winter, when it might be icy outside or cold, then you can just do your walking inside in the hallways, which is great.
That's one of the things that appealed to me here. I don't want to be out walking when it's wicked hot and humid. I'm afraid of slipping on ice in the winter. I don't like to get all bundled up if it's cold. So I do a tremendous amount of walking in the hallways, which is terrific. You can do it 24/7. It can be a very social experience. The hallways are not boring. They're very interesting with lots of, everyone has decorative things outside their doors, which change quite frequently. So there's always stuff to see. It's a nice wide, the hallways are nice and wide, and I like to read while I walk sometimes. So that's big to me. I used to walk inside my house, and Carl complained that every time I came through the living room, I created a breeze. And now I can walk with nobody complaining.
How do you walk and read at the same time? That's pretty impressive.
Well, I read a magazine, and people do startle me or I startle them, but so far no collisions and no falls.
No,
I've
go ahead,
been
Carl.
interested in doing some hiking, and so I wanted to stay in shape. And there are places in the building where you can go from like the first floor to the third floor. So I would go up and down the stairwells, and that's the closest thing you come to hiking a mountain. So I did a lot of stair climbing in the winter to get ready for my spring hiking.
If you do the third floor once, it's half a mile. If you do
That's
every,
right.
so it's quite a good walk. Politically speaking, is it a good mix? And can you tell us anything about the civics committee that was created here in the community, if you know anything about that?
I'm not on the civics committee. I know that they are not partisan. They like to bring in candidates of both parties to help us be informed voters. They help us understand absentee voting, generic things like that. So it's very useful, especially if you're new to New Hampshire and our way of doing things with elections. And it's just handy to have their information.
People are so respectful here and so polite, I think, to each other, you know.
Yes.
We have a state rep that lives here with his wife, and he's a Democrat, but all residents went to support him at the State House in Concord, and he won the election. And both residents, both Republicans and Democrats, went on the shuttles to go up and show their support. So he was very touched by that. And it's just a very polite, friendly, very respectful group of people that live here.
We're careful not to be all kinds of partisan. We kind of sense of the residents' persuasion, and then we may privately open up with them to have more partisan chats. Not hear all sorts of the divisiveness that exists in the country. We're careful that way and respectful of each other.
Can you
Not a dining room topic. So we kind of avoid politics.
Can you tell us about Bernadette,
Oh, we recently,
fitness coordinator?
yeah, Bernadette walks on water. We recently did a survey of all the services and amenities and aspects of living here. And the departments were rated and the various department heads were rated. And Bernadette got a 100% rating, which was quite extraordinary. People can come here at a certain level of fitness and ability. And if they're willing to work with Bernadette, they can advance instead of decline in terms of health. They might come in here, we're using a cane, and then at some point perhaps not have to use it anymore because Bernadette helped them. And she's like a personal trainer in that regard. So she helps us to get more fit, or at least maintain where we are and not go downhill, and have an awful lot of fun with her classes and her activities.
There are group classes, some of them sitting down in chairs where you do various exercises while you're sitting. I was involved in a core strength training program with her at one point, and I know they do meditation, and there's a yoga class, and tap class, which I believe is sitting down. They tap their toes to various music, and I can't think of what else.
Working on patterns. Patterns.
Yeah.
Sorry.
There's a Tai Chi class as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rowing club is neat. Actually, we have 2 rowing machines, and she can set your phone up so you can row against other communities. And we have one incredible rower in the building that has won awards. What would you say about the move-in process, and is it easy to meet new people?
People here are very friendly. I found both the staff and all the residents very friendly, and we've made lots of new friends and people that we go and have dinner with regularly, or we play dominoes or cards with, or just sit down and chat. Elaine has a gardening friend that she found here, so they go out and do gardening together. So there's lots of people that you will like. Yeah.
What I think people need to know is you have friends here. You just haven't met them yet. And eventually you will find each other. And it isn't that you form cliques necessarily, but you just find the people who are your kindred spirits, with whom you're compatible and share interests. And this place just becomes so great. I mean, to go play cards with your friends on a winter evening, and you can wear your slippers as you go down the hall to their apartment, and you don't have to drive home at night in the dark. I mean, it's just socially, it can be really superb if that's what you want.
Right. It's really up to you, right? It's independent living, and there's all ages here, from 60s to 90s, and even someone over 100. So it's a wonderful mix. It's a wonderful neighborhood. Individual wings sometimes do potlucks, and people look out for each other, and it really kind of becomes a big family. I think having worked, this is my 4th or 5th community now, and it's just such a great feeling working in this kind of environment. And I think living also, people tell me. And there's a resident ambassador program, right, for when you move in.
That's right. When we're ambassadors for the latest new couple, and have gone with them to different events, helping them find their way around the building, just explaining different things. It's been fun to get to know them, and it's good when it's comforting to come here and have someone who has been agreed to help you out and get you oriented and settled in. Yep, like that a lot.
When you first toured, and please, anyone out there, please feel free to type in more questions. When you first toured, it seemed like you were several years out from making a move, and you came back, you attended some events, and we toured several times, and every time you came back, you felt a little bit more comfortable. And you really ended up moving your timing up because we were looking at a certain size apartment, the fur, and found just what you liked, and it worked out really well. But you moved your timing up quite a lot.
We did. We figured out that you only have a certain number of fur apartments. One becomes available we better jump on it because that's what we could afford and it met our needs the best. So as soon as you called us and said, I've got a fur, we were here.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
we'll take it.
It worked out really well.
Touring a lot, having lunch with residents ahead of time, even touring outdoors. We really felt like we knew this place before we made the decision. It was very good to do that.
We had originally been interested in RiverWoods Durham, and we had talked to them, and we told them we were on a waiting list, but we said, don't call us for 3 years because I wasn't ready to move. But then the fall came and I couldn't start the chainsaw. I didn't have the arm strength to pull the chainsaw anymore. I had to put it down on the ground with both feet and pull with 2 hands to get it to start. So I knew that was the bulb went off or on and said, maybe we've outgrown this place.
So now that you've lived here a couple years, and what kind of advice would you give to people out there who are sitting at home in their comfy houses and considering this as an option?
Start downsizing yesterday.
Yep.
And when you've gotten rid of all that stuff that you really didn't need all of it in the first place, you're doing your kids such a favor when you're gone because they only have to clear out a little bit from your apartment. So that's huge. And I had another thought. Train of thought went off the tracks.
Well,
I remember. We moved from a 9-room house to a 4-room apartment. Psychologically, it felt like, oh my God, it'll be so constrained. But actually, you're moving into a huge house, has a restaurant, a library, and a post office, and a health center, a gym. I mean, all those things we didn't have in our 9-room house. We've got all sorts of stuff we didn't know about. And our home is just so big now. It's a mansion.
And you will see, people coming over from assisted living. They might come back and have breakfast with their friends. It's right down the hall. So the entire community becomes your home. And just because you move to assisted living doesn't mean you can't come back over to independent. Sometimes those folks come to our activities, and sometimes independent residents go over there for those activities and visits. And the fact that you can get a short-term stay way ahead of time while you're still independent, but then go back to independent means it's comfortable. It's not a stressful thing. If you do have to move to assisted living or memory support in the nursing in the future, it's easy and it's so accessible to it's all still your home. And the care is offered by people who know you because you've seen them in activities or events, or you've seen them during a respite stay, and neighbors come and go very easily between the 2 sides of the building. So it's just a great system, I think.
There was a couple here that moved here recently, and the wife went immediately to assisted living, and the husband is still in independent living. And he goes and visits every day, and he doesn't have to leave the building to do it. And some other CCRCs or places that you could go, you have to get in your car and drive somewhere to go visit your spouse. But here, he just goes down the hall, and he can spend time there with her. And, I believe they eat together sometimes.
They do?
Yep.
Kisses her goodnight, and he comes back to his own apartment.
I've seen them smooching in the hallway. The goodnight kiss.
So that's one of the great things about this place is if one of you has to go to the lodge to assisted living or nursing care, the other spouse can still visit.
They're also all private suites with private bathrooms and walk-in showers. And you don't get that in most assisted living nursing centers. And they're more than a tiny room on a wing. And the nursing feels and looks just like assisted living. It's comfortable, very neighborly, very warm, welcoming, and newly renovated. So it's a beautiful, beautiful place. Kate asked, how long was this time that you spent while touring communities and applying, and about how many visits did you make? They probably made more than most, I would say, Elaine, right? Well,
did.
good. Yeah.
The
Go ahead.
fact that this is a RiverWoods community means everything. The reputation for the RiverWoods group in New Hampshire and around New Hampshire is so good that we knew we wanted to be in a RiverWoods community before we set one foot over the threshold for touring. The reputation is that great. And we knew people in Exeter, for example. So that meant a lot. And of course, coming frequently and bringing friends here to see their parents.
Yeah.
Long time ago, it all added up to knowing that this is the comfortable new home for an easy life.
Well, what about the time frame? Did you say
Oh,
6 months,
the
maybe?
touring, I'm sure, was less than 6 months. I was hot to trot.
You were ready. Carl wasn't.
Yeah,
I have to
but
tell you,
when he got here, all of a sudden, he in the wood shop, whoa! And it's been a marriage made in heaven. He's
1 week in, Carl came in and sat down in my office and he said, I got to tell you, we never ever believed that after 1 week, we would love everyone here so much. And B, how comfortable we feel and that we already feel like we've adapted after 1 week. And that was Carl, who was so resistant, right?
Yeah, it was a relief.
It was
to me.
great. It was great. And it's true.
Yeah.
It just really felt, and it is a comfortable place. It's not it's not stuffy. It's very laid back. People remark that all the time on tours, how comfortable this community in particular is. And Carl, you really made that come true.
One thing is you can really be yourself. You do not have to dress fancy for dinner. There are places where they do. We don't have to here. I am a flannel shirt and jeans kind of woman, and nobody looks down on me because I'm not wearing fancy costume jewelry and silk blouses. So you just do your thing and you're accepted, and it's just so relaxed. Lovely.
And I think RiverWoods is known as it being an accepting organization. You know, we take you for who you are. It doesn't matter politically or anything. It's just, come on in, sit down and join us is the feeling you get, I think, when you come here. Kate was going to ask if you have to wear makeup. No, you do not.
I never have, and I'm not starting now.
Yeah. Well, I think during COVID, a lot of us just kind of gave that up for a while. Some of us back into it, some of us haven't. So no, you don't have to. And if people want to dress for dinner, they're welcome to do so. Some people get a little more dressed than others. But it's independent living. It's your choice as to how you want to live here and what you want to do. No one's forcing you. It's an accepting place that is just comfortable. How were your kids with this decision? And did you consult them up front?
Oh, heck no. They don't realize what a gift this is to them. They don't realize that we're never going to call them and say, can I move in with you? We're never going to call them and say, can you come and change the light bulb in the chandelier because I'm afraid to get on a ladder. We don't need them. And they don't appreciate that. They just don't know. And they've never had to care for anyone who is disabled, needing toileting assistance. They're never going to have to face that. So they don't realize how great it is for them. But we know, because we know what went on with our parents and our grandparents.
Yeah.
Well, and one thing I would say to people considering coming to a CCRC is if your plan was to stay where you are and get people to come in, good luck with that. Because as you can see, it's harder and harder to find qualified people to do whatever, somebody to clean the chimney, somebody to rake the leaves, somebody to mow the lawns. If you need somebody to come help you with this or that, it's going to be harder and harder to find those people.
Yeah, and most daughters are working and running companies and things like that. Yeah, and there's actually 3 home care agencies in Manchester that have had a wait list for care. How do you wait for care? Right? And so
That's
that
right.
living services that you can hire in independent living is great, because most people want to stay independent longer, as long as they possibly can. And we respect that and try to honor that. And so if it means hiring extra care, we staff it. So we know what's going on there, and it's just a really good system. Well, so great feedback. Thank you so, so much. I don't see any other questions. Thank you all for joining us. If you have further questions, feel free, please, to email us, to call us. I know, Elaine, you've offered your phone number in the past if people have questions. She loves helping, Elaine is someone who bakes cookies for people when they move in and leaves a beautiful handwritten note at the door. It's really just so nice, and really makes people feel welcome. I just love that. And Kate would love to talk to you, Elaine. So we'll make sure we arrange that. Our next event is downsizing. So we have, I think it's Dovetail, yes, it is the company that will be helping with the downsizing move management process. They do offer that service, and they'll have helpful tips and things like that. Elaine and Carl actually did it all themselves, without a moving company, right? Without a move manager, and they're in really good shape, and we're able to do that. Not everybody can, and it worked very well for them. But this is a great, helpful program that we're running soon. So feel free to sign up for that, and for other great webinars online. We can also do a walkthrough Zoom tour with my cell phone, and for family that's out of state or individuals that are out of state, we're happy to do that as well. So thank you again, you two. Thank you all for joining us. Call us with any questions, send an email, and hope to see you soon. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.